Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're unraveling a really unusual mystery. It's a case that kicks off with a sound so unsettling it just immediately pulls you into this world of hidden identities, clever codes, and, well, pretty significant art theft.
Yeah, that's quite a story.
Our goal today is to sort of pull out the core insights from this incredible investigation and show you how even these, tiny, seemingly strange details can lead to some really unexpected places. So what exactly started it all?
Well, what's fascinating is that it really all began with something you'd think is totally mundane, an old alarm clock.
Right.
But, I mean, imagine plugging in some dusty old thing you found, expecting maybe a little buzz, maybe a ring, and instead you get this piercing, high-pitched scream like a woman absolutely terrified.
Wow.
That's exactly what happened to Jupiter Jones, the brains behind the three investigators.
And this wasn't just any old clock found anywhere. Jupiter and his friends Bob Andrews and Pete Crenshaw, they found this electric alarm clock at the Jones salvage yard that's in Rocky Beach, California. He plugs it in and bam, no buzz, just this scream. Starts low, goes higher and higher. Apparently it really hurt his ears, sent shivers down his spine. I mean, you can imagine.
Oh, yeah. And, well, from an investigator's point of view, this is where the thinking really starts, right? Jupiter, he figures out pretty quickly the scream is linked to the alarm lever.
Okay.
You flip it on, it screams. Flip it off, it just makes this soft purring sound. So the initial puzzle, the how, that was solved fairly fast. It screamed when the alarm was set.
But the big question.
Exactly. The deeper mystery was why. Why make a clock do that?
Yeah.
It really plays into their whole motto, doesn't it? We investigate anything.
It really does. So armed with that motto and just plain curiosity, they dive in. Jupiter, he's the engineer type, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So he immediately starts taking the clock apart in his workshop there at the salvage yard. What's inside?
He finds that the standard bell mechanism you'd expect, it's gone.
Yeah.
Replaced by this cleverly installed disc thing,
Mm-hmm.
about the size of a silver dollar, but thicker. Clearly custom made to produce that awful wail. Which immediately raises the question, who's this clever mechanic and why build something so bizarre?
And while they're looking at the clock, something else turns up. Almost falls out of the box.
Exactly. Bob spots this little rectangular piece of paper, dried glue on the back,
Okay.
and Jupiter, putting it together, realizes it fits perfectly onto this rough glued spot on the clock's base.
And the paper has a message.
A very cryptic one. It says, "Dear Rex, ask Imogene. Ask Gerald, ask Martha, then act. The result will surprise even you."
Whoa.
Yeah, clearly not junk. This was deliberately left, part of the whole puzzle.
Okay, so you've got this crazy clock, this weird note. How do you even start finding the person who made the clock scream?
Well, Jupiter, he's methodical. He turns the clock over again, gets out his magnifying glass, and spots these tiny little letters engraved on the middle base. A. Felix.
Felix, okay, a name.
A name. So quick check in the phone book classifies and bingo. A. Felix Clockmaker, unusual jobs, our specialty, with a Hollywood address.
Wow, okay, their first real lead.
Absolutely. He's Mr. Felix. He's the likely candidate for making this thing. It just shows, always check for those little manufacturer marks or identifiers.
So off they go, in the Rolls Royce, no less, with Worthington driving, to Mr. Felix's shop. Which is probably what you'd expect. Dusty. Full of clocks.
Pretty much filled with ticking clocks. And Mr. Felix himself is this tiny little guy, bushy white eyebrows. He confirms, yep, he made the clock scream.
He admits it.
Admits it, even plugs it in for them. Fills the whole shop with that awful sound again.
Oh, man.
But then he clams up. Confidentiality, you see?
Right.
But the boys are clever. They sort of hint maybe there's a reward involved.
Yeah.
For returning property someone might have accidentally discarded.
A nice angle.
It works. He gives them the customer's name.
Oh, clock.
A clock, seriously.
Yeah, Felix thought it was a joke name, so the guy brought him clocks all the time.
Okay, a clock.
Yeah.
That's memorable. Did Felix have an address? Anything else?
Nope, just a phone number, that's it.
So what do? Jupiter decides to use his acting skills. He calls the number, pretends he's from the phone company.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah. Claims there are cross circuits in the area, needs the address to check the lines.
Does it work?
A woman answers. She gives the address, 309 Franklin Street. But then, before she can say anything else,
What?
this deep scream comes over the phone, sounds like a big man terrified, and then the line just goes dead.
Whoa. Okay, that's chilling. Was that a clock screaming? Why?
Exactly. The mystery just got a whole lot deeper.
Yeah.
And, well, naturally, they head straight over to 309 Franklin Street.
You bet they did. What did they find there?
It's this large house, looks a bit run down. They're met at the door by this kid, Harry Smith, 17 years old,
Hmm.
and his mom, who's the housekeeper there.
Okay.
And Harry's immediately hostile, really aggressive. Claims the scream they heard over the phone. That was Mr. Hadley's dying scream.
Dying scream? What?
Yeah, and says they need to bury him. Just trying to scare them off, clearly.
Just trying to get rid of them.
Totally. But Jupiter, he pulls out their business card, right? The three investigators, we investigate anything.
Classic.
And then he shows Harry the screaming clock they found. That gets his attention. He lets them in.
And this is where things really start to connect, isn't it? The full picture starts emerging.
Absolutely. Once they're inside, there's this hallway, big grandfather clock standing there. Harry plugs it in.
Don't tell me.
Yep. It screams, too. Same deep voice scream they heard on the phone.
Unbelievable.
Then Harry takes him into the library, and it's filled, absolutely filled, with dozens of antique clocks, all electrified. And guess what?
They all scream.
They can all be made to scream. This was Mr. Hadley's A-clock screaming room, soundproofed. He'd sit in there and manipulate the clocks, make them wail, shriek, even make animal sounds, apparently.
Okay, that is profoundly weird. So Mr. Hadley, a.k.a. A-clock, just had this really bizarre hobby.
Seems like it. But then Harry drops another bombshell, a much bigger mystery, and one that's, deeply personal for him. He explains his father, who's an insurance salesman, is in jail. Framed.
For what?
For stealing 3 really valuable modern paintings from some rich guy in Beverly Hills.
Okay. How does that connect?
Because the paintings were found hidden in their apartment. Under the kitchen linoleum.
Whoa.
Planted.
Harry insists his dad is completely innocent. And he begs the 3 investigators to prove it.
So now you've got screaming clocks and stolen art. How on earth do those things link up? That's the big question now, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It's a major turning point. Suddenly, this weird clock puzzle is tied into a serious crime.
It's fascinating, though, how these pieces start to, maybe fit together, even if you can't see the whole picture yet.
Right.
Bob, he's the research guy, right?
Records and research, yeah.
So he goes to the newspaper archives, the morgue. What does he find out about these art thefts?
He finds there's been a whole string of them, like a dozen major art robberies over the last 10 years, Hollywood, L.A. area, usually valuable paintings just cut right out of their frames.
Okay, so it's a pattern.
Definitely. Police theory is they're being smuggled out, sold to rich collectors down in South America, hidden away in private collections.
And Harry's dad.
He got arrested because, 1, he visited the house just before the paintings were stolen in insurance business, apparently. And 2, the paintings turned up in his home. Pretty damning on the surface.
But Harry has doubts.
He points out something crucial. His family only moved to Hollywood 6 years ago, so his dad couldn't possibly have done the earlier thefts in the series.
Ah, that's a key detail. It separates his case.
Right. It suggests maybe he was just convenient, a scapegoat.
Okay, so the clock, the messages, this missing Mr. Hadley, the art thefts, it's all becoming this really strange, tangled web. Let's go back to that note on the clock. Dear Rex, ask Imogene, ask Gerald, ask Martha, then act. How'd they track down Rex?
Well, logic, mostly. They figure Rex must be a friend of Mr. Clock or Hadley.
Makes sense.
Harry finds Hadley's old Christmas card list. They scan it. No Rex.
Dead end.
Not quite. Good old records and research. Bob spots the name Walter King.
Walter King.
And Bob remembers his Latin. King in Latin is
Rex.
Bingo. So they figure Rex is probably Walter King's nickname. It's their only lead for him. It's a great little example of how, cross-disciplinary knowledge like Latin can actually crack a case.
That's brilliant. So Rex is likely Walter King. What about the others? Imogene, Gerald, Martha.
The Christmas card list came through again. It had names and addresses for 1 Imogene Taylor, 2 guys named Gerald, and actually 3 women named Martha.
Okay, so multiple possibilities there.
Right. Now, Harry's basically joined the team at this point, so there are 4 of them. They decide to split up. Classic strategy.
Divide and conquer.
Exactly. Bob and Harry take Mr. King's address, hoping to find him or his family, and Miss Imogene Taylor. Jupiter and Pete will tackle the Geralds and the Marthas.
And the mission for each team.
Ask about Mr. Clock, and specifically, ask if he left any messages for someone asking about a clock.
Got it. This is where the real legwork begins. Let's follow Bob and Harry first. Mrs. King, what did she tell them?
Well, first off, Mr. King isn't there. He's in the hospital. Never even got the clock. Bert Clock, that's Hadley's first name, turns out sent him.
Oh, okay. So Rex never saw it.
Nope. But Mrs. King did. She plugged it in.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She said the screen nearly gave me heart failure. Understandable. She threw it straight in the trash.
Can't blame her. Did she remember anything else? A note, maybe?
She did. She recalled a short letter that came with the clock from Bert. Mentioned something about the clock helping her husband mend his broken fortunes if he listened to the clock and heeded it well.
Mend his broken fortunes. Interesting. So the clock and the messages were meant to help Rex King somehow.
Seems like it. Like some kind of hidden plan or inheritance. Very intriguing.
Okay, what about Miss Imogene Taylor? What did they find out from her?
Miss Taylor is this little bird-like woman. Turns out she's an old colleague of Bert Klock's from his radio days.
Radio?
Yeah. She remembers him mainly as a great practical joker,
Right.
but also a wonderful screamer. Apparently he was famous for it on some old radio show.
A screamer? Okay.
A show called A Scream at Midnight. And guess who wrote it?
Let me guess. Rex King.
Yeah, Sir Rex King himself. Small world.
Definitely. Did she have a message?
She did. An envelope, just like they suspected. For anyone asking about a clock, and inside, another super cryptic note.
Lay it on me.
Okay, get this. It's quiet there, even in a hurricane. Just a word of advice, politely given. Old English Bowman loved it. Bigger than a raindrop, smaller than an ocean. I'm 26. How old are you? It sits on a shelf like a well-fed elf.
Wow. Okay. That's a riddle, all right. Designed to make your head hurt.
Exactly, a real test.
Meanwhile, what are Jupiter and Pete finding? Let's catch up with them.
Their first stop is a Mrs. Martha Harris, another old radio and TV actress, has a house full of Siamese cats.
Oh, yeah.
She also got an envelope from Bert Klock, maybe 2 weeks back. Same instructions.
Yeah.
Give it to anyone asking for a message about a clock.
And her message. More riddles.
Even more baffling, maybe. It's just a long column of numbers. Looks totally random, clearly some kind of code. This is message number 3.
A number code. Okay. Then they hit the first, Gerald.
Right, Gerald Kramer. Small, thin guy, bow-legged.
Mm-hmm.
At first, he denies even knowing Bert Klock.
Suspicious.
Very. And then this other guy shows up, tall, distinguished-looking Spanish accent, introduces himself as Carlos.
Carlos?
And Carlos seems to know exactly what's going on with the messages. He gets Gerald, who apparently used to be a jockey named Jerry, to help him. They try to grab the messages right off Jupiter and Pete.
Whoa. A struggle.
Yeah. Pete's pretty strong, good wrestler. He manages to break free. They get away, but disaster. The numbers message gets torn in the scuffle. They only escape with half of it.
Oh, no. That's terrible. And dangerous. They're definitely onto something sensitive here.
No kidding. A very close call.
But they still had another Gerald on the list, right?
They did. Gerald Watson. He's an elderly man, and guess what? He also starred in A Scream at Midnight. Played a detective.
The connections keep piling up. Bert Klock, Rex King, Gerald Watson, all from
Yeah.
that show.
Exactly. And Mr. Watson also got a message. He'd already opened his, couldn't make heads or tails of it.
What did this one say? This is message number 2.
Message number 2, yeah. Another word puzzle. Take one lily, kill my friend Eli. Positively number 1. Take a broom and swat a bee. What you do with clothes. Almost. Not mother, not sister, not brother, but perhaps father. Hymns, hams, homes. Almost. Not quite.
Okay. My head is officially spinning now. 3 messages. 1 a riddle, 1 a number code that's half gone, and 1, another word puzzle. How do they even start to crack these?
Well, this is where you see that combination of like research and just creative thinking come in.
Yeah.
But it takes the first riddle Imogene's message back to the library.
Right.
He starts thinking about quiet. Even in a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Looks up hurricanes. What's the quiet spot?
The eye.
The eye. Which sounds like,
Clever. Phonetics.
exactly, phonetic link. Then Old English Bowman loved it. What kind of wood did they use for bows?
I don't know that one.
Bob finds out they often used wood from the yew tree. Y-E-W.
You. Sounds like you.
Got it. So now they have I and you. Then Jupiter figures just a word of advice, politely given. Well, that's a fancy way of saying
Suggestion.
suggestion. So the first part comes together. I suggest you.
Brilliant. They're cracking it piece by piece.
Right there in headquarters, the rest falls into place. Bigger than a raindrop, smaller than an ocean. That points to
C-S-E-A.
That's like C, then I'm 26. How old are you? That's a clever one.
Yeah.
26th letter of the alphabet.
Z, which sounds like the.
Perfect. And the last bit, it sits on a shelf like a well-fed elf. What sits on shelves and is, well-fed with words.
Books.
Books. So the whole first message decoded. I suggest you see the book.
Wow. That's fantastic deduction. A series of riddles pointing them towards A book.
Exactly. A specific source of information.
Okay, so message 1 is down. What about the others? Especially that second word puzzle from Gerald Watson.
Well, that one took Jupiter. Late one night, apparently he couldn't sleep, went back to headquarters.
Burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, classic Jupiter. And he cracks it. It's another masterclass in wordplay.
How did that one work? Take one lily. Kill my friend Eli.
Okay, so you take the words one lily. Now, kill my friend Eli means remove the letters E-L-I from the middle. What's left?
O-N-L-Y. Only.
Only. Then, positively number 1. What's number 1?
A, the letter A.
A. Take a broom and swat a bee. Take the word broom, remove the B sound.
Room.
Room. What you do with clothes almost? Wear clothes. Sounds like.
Where? W-H-E-R-E.
Where. Then, not mother, not sister, not brother, but perhaps father. This one's a bit more abstract. Thinking father leads to
Father time.
father time. Exactly. Gets back to Burt clock. And the last bit, hymns, hams, homes, almost, not quite. What sound do clocks make? Especially old electric ones.
They hum.
They hum. So put it all together.
Only. A, room. Where? Father time. Hums. Only a room where father time hums.
Precisely.
And what did Jupiter make of that?
Well, think about it. A room where father time clocks hums. Where have they seen that?
Hadley's library. The screaming room. All those electric clocks. They must have hummed.
Exactly. So message 1 says, see the book. Message 2 says, only a room where father time hums. It's leading them to a specific book in that specific room.
Wow. Incredibly precise instructions just hidden in these crazy riddles.
Right. Highly encrypted, but definitely directions.
But just as they're making this amazing progress, things take a nasty turn, don't they?
You really do. Their success attracts the wrong kind of attention. Harry and Bob get themselves into deep trouble.
What happens?
They get nabbed.
Ah.
Kidnapped by that crew Jeters, the guy with the blowtorch apparently, Carlos, and Jerry the ex-jockey.
Oh, man.
They want the messages too, and whatever loot they think the messages lead to.
So what do Bob and Harry do?
Bob manages somehow to make a desperate phone call to Jupiter from the garage where they're being held.
Quick thinking.
Tells Jupiter what's happened, says the villains are demanding Jupiter bring them the rest of the messages, and Jeters is there threatening Bob with a blowtorch. It's serious.
Jeez. So Jupiter's got this terrible choice. Give them the messages, or call the cops and risk his friends getting hurt.
A really tough spot. But then, just as he's trying to figure out what to do, a completely unexpected player walks onto the scene. Someone they've actually tangled with before, Hugenay, the international art thief.
Hugenay. Wow, okay. Talk about a wild card. What's he doing there?
He just shows up dramatically at the salvage yard, right when Jupiter's getting ready to meet Jeter's demands. Turns out Hugenay's been tracking Jupiter, put some kind of electronic bug in his pocket earlier.
Sneaky.
And Hugenay confesses something else. He was the one who chased Bob and Harry earlier, and he stole the original screaming clock from their car when they left it parked.
Why?
He thought it must contain some hidden clue, maybe microfilm or something. He took it apart, didn't find anything, and destroyed it.
Okay, Hugenay. Always playing his own game. Does he want the messages too?
Not exactly. He offers Jupiter a deal. Very surprising one.
What kind of deal?
Hugenay says he'll help prove Harry's father innocent.
Really?
In exchange for Jupiter's help finding the stolen paintings.
Hugenay wants the art.
Of course. And then he drops the biggest revelation yet. Burt Clock, Mr. Hadley, wasn't just some eccentric hobbyist.
No.
No. According to Hugenay, Burt Clock was the actual mastermind behind that whole series of art thefts for years.
Hadley was the ringleader. The screamer.
That's what Hugenay claims. Says Burt used small guys like Jerry the jockey to slip through windows, and Carlos was his contact for selling the art, mostly to those collectors down in South America.
Wow. Okay, that changes everything. But then, how did Harry's father get framed if Burt was the boss?
Hugenay explains that. Apparently, Jerry and Carlos were pressuring Burt to unload 5 specific paintings. But Burt couldn't. His main buyers in South America got arrested.
Okay, so Burt was stuck with hot paintings.
Exactly. Then the police start closing in on a recent robbery. Burt panics. He needs a scapegoat fast, so he hides 3 of the paintings in the Smith's apartment, knowing the police will eventually search there because Mr. Smith had visited the house that was robbed.
Frame up. Simple as that.
Simple and brutal. Burt then disappeared, went to South America himself, and apparently died there not long after. Hugenay suggests maybe he felt some remorse at the end.
Maybe. But this raises a really important question, doesn't it? If Bert was this criminal mastermind, why send these incredibly complicated, cryptic messages and a screaming clock to his old friends? Why not just, I don't know, send an anonymous tip to the police about the real location of the paintings to clear Mr. Smith?
That's a great question, and Hugenay has an answer. Bert Klock, he says, was never a simple man. Everything had to be elaborate, theatrical.
Okay.
It turns out this whole final act, the clock, the riddles, it was all a complex plan designed primarily to help his old friend, Rex King.
Help Rex! How?
Remember Mrs. King said Rex's fortunes were broken, he was down on his luck. Bert knew Rex desperately needed publicity to maybe revive his writing career. So this whole bizarre scheme, leading the investigators and eventually, maybe reporters and police, on this wild chase, culminating in the dramatic discovery of the skull and paintings. It was all calculated to get Rex King's name back in the newspapers.
Wow. So it wasn't just about clearing Mr. Smith or even hiding the loot. It was a final weird favor for a friend. Talk about complex motives.
Exactly. A sort of signaling under duress, layered with personal loyalty, wrapped up in a criminal's exit strategy. Fascinating psychology.
Okay, so they have the motive, they have the general idea, but what about that third message, the number code? It was torn in half, right?
Right. And when Jeeters eventually gets hold of the messages Jupiter brings, he just burns them. So Jupiter only really remembered the first two decoded messages.
So the number code is lost.
Well, they knew it was a book code, like page number, word number, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Without knowing which book, it was useless. Another hurdle. How do you find the key when you don't even know what lock it fits?
So Hugenay is helping them now, kind of. They need to find the book mentioned in the first message to decode the third message, assuming they could even remember the numbers. How do they figure out which book?
Bob makes another call, back to Mrs. King. Asks her if Bert Klock ever wrote a book himself.
Did he?
He did, a book about his radio days. And the title.
Let me guess. Something with scream or clock in it.
A clock screams at midnight.
Perfect. That has to be it.
Has to be. Hugenay, who's surprisingly helpful now that he sees a path to the paintings, finds a copy right there in Bert Klock's library.
Okay, they have the book, but they only have half the numbers message.
But Jupiter has another brilliant idea. He figures Bert Klock probably had a system. Maybe he marked the words he used in his codes right in the book itself.
Pencil marks or something?
Exactly. So Jupiter starts painstakingly scanning the book, page by page, looking for tiny pencil marks under specific words.
Tedious work. Does he find them?
He does. It takes time, but he finds the pattern, reconstructs the entire numbers message from the marks in the book. Just shows that sometimes the clue is literally hiding in plain sight, if you know how to look.
Incredible persistence. So what did the full decoded third message finally say? The one from the book code.
It wasn't just a clue, it was like a script, a set of very specific instructions for a performance.
Okay, what were they?
It said, stand in the middle of the room at 1 minute to midnight. Have 2 detectives and 2 reporters with you. Hold hands, making a circle, and keep absolutely silent for 1 minute. At midnight, exactly the alarm of the screening clock which I send you should go off. Have it set at full volume. Let the scream continue until my hiding place is uncovered.
Wow. Talk about theatrical. Bert Klock really planned a dramatic reveal. But wait a minute, there's a huge problem, isn't there?
A massive one.
The original screaming clock, Hugenay destroyed it when he was looking for hidden stuff inside.
Exactly. The key instrument for Bert's grand finale is gone. A major, major setback. The whole plan seems impossible now.
So what do? Is it over?
Not quite. Jupiter again has this flash of insight. He remembers something else that seemed minor at the time.
What?
Remember Gerald Watson, the actor? He mentioned Bert Klock had tapes of the old A Scream at Midnight radio shows. And he specifically mentioned an old movie Bert was in, maybe 20 years ago, where Bert did some kind of trick with a scream.
A trick with a scream. This connects back to Bert's unique talent.
Right. It shows how all those little details they gathered, even ones that didn't seem important, suddenly become critical.
So what was this trick Bert did in the movie? How does that help them now?
Well, it turns out, in that movie, Bert Klock stood in front of a big mirror and shattered it just by screaming at it. A super high-pitched, intense scream.
Shattered glass with sound. Is that even possible?
It is. It's based on real science. Resonance. Certain sound frequencies, if they're powerful enough and match the natural frequency of the glass, can cause vibrations intense enough to shatter it, especially thin glass.
Okay. So Bert could actually do that.
Apparently. And crucially, Gerald Watson also mentioned that Bert Klock later bought a mirror, very similar to the one in the movie, and he hung it. Where?
In the library, the
Up
screaming room.
in the library. And Jupiter suddenly realizes
Mm-hmm.
that must be the hiding place. The mirror itself, he used it to conceal the stolen paintings behind it. The scream wasn't just a signal. It was the key to physically uncovering the hiding place.
That is incredibly clever and theatrical. So the plan now is find that tape, play Bert's recorded scream really loud, and hope it shatters the mirror.
That's the desperate hope. A long shot, maybe, but it's all they've got.
So what happens? Do they find the tape? Does it work?
They manage to find the tape among Bert's old radio stuff. They get back to the library, which is a mess after Jeters and Carlos ransacked it, set up the tape player.
Okay, the moment of truth.
Jupiter hits play. First try, the volume's too low, nothing happens, just the creepy scream echoing in the room.
Oh, tense.
Then he cranks the volume all the way up. The scream just explodes out of the speakers. So terrifying. Apparently everyone instinctively covers their ears.
And the mirror?
For a second, nothing. Then, crack. The glass in the big mirror on the wall, spider's webs, then shatters. Falls into 1,000 pieces on the floor.
And behind it?
Behind it, sandwiched between the mirror backing and the wall, 5 brilliantly colored paintings. The stolen art.
They did it. Unbelievable. Mystery solved. Paintings found. Harry's dad is going to be cleared. What a climax.
Truly dramatic. Just like Burklock apparently wanted.
But wait, Hugenay, he's still there, right? He helped them find the book. What happens with him now that the paintings are revealed?
Hugenay. Era the escape artist. Just as the paintings are revealed, who shows up? Chief Reynolds and Pete's dad. Pete got worried when he couldn't find Jupiter or Bob earlier and called for backup.
Okay, so the police arrive. Hugenay's caught red-handed with stolen art.
You'd think so. But Hugenay is completely calm. He points out that the policemen he had with him earlier, the ones who helped contain Jeters and Carlos, weren't real police.
What?
They were actors, wearing New York Police Department uniforms, not Los Angeles Police Department uniforms.
No way.
Oh, yeah. A subtle difference, but legally crucial. Means he can't be charged with impersonating an LA officer.
That's slippery.
Incredibly. So while the real police are distracted by the paintings and sorting out the situation with Jeters and Carlos, who Hugenay's actors had tied up, Hugenay just slips away. Makes a clean getaway.
Leaving the police with the paintings, but no master thief.
Good.
Classic Hugenay.
Absolutely. Baffled the police, but they got the art back and the evidence to clear Mr. Smith. So a win, mostly.
Wow, what a case. So thinking about this whole wild ride, what does it all mean for you, the listener? What are the big takeaways here?
Well, I think this deep dive into the screaming clock really hammers home the power of, first, just a meticulous observation, noticing that tiny name, A. Felix. Second, logical deduction, figuring out Rex from Walter King, cracking those incredibly complex codes. And third, maybe most importantly, connecting seemingly totally unrelated things, screaming clocks and art theft. Who would guess?
It really shows how sometimes a person's, I guess, hobby, like Hadley's screaming room, can actually be a cover or connected to something much darker, like a criminal enterprise.
Exactly. And how a puzzle, like those messages, can be more than just a game. It can be a cry for help or, in this case, a really elaborate set of instructions. Even an act that seems like revenge framing Mr. Smith gets twisted into this strange final favor for Rex King.
If you connect that to the bigger picture, it really demonstrates that information, even when it seems fragmented or just plain bizarre, like a screaming clock, often has hidden patterns underneath. You just have to look hard enough.
Right. That scream wasn't just noise. It was literally a key. Those riddles weren't just random words. They were precise directions. And all that stuff that seemed like junk, the clock, the note, the Christmas list, it was all crucial.
It really pushes you to question those surface appearances, doesn't it? To always dig deeper for the connections that might be hiding just beneath.
Definitely. It's a reminder that every little detail, every oddity could hold a vital piece of the truth. Don't dismiss the weird stuff.
And it leaves us with a really provocative thought to chew on, I think. Bert Kluck. He's undeniably a criminal. He masterminded thefts. He framed an innocent man. Yet his final elaborate act was also designed as this strange gesture of loyalty and maybe kindness towards his old friend Rex King.
Yeah, it's deeply contradictory, isn't it?
Can a single plan, a single person, hold such conflicting motives all at once? Malice and generosity, crime and loyalty? What does that really tell us about, well, the sheer complexity of people? Something to think about.